Yeah. So let me share my screen. Here we go. So what was the last one we've discussed was smooth compliance pipeline UI to accordion. Let me. Oh, it's probably in the previous milestone, yeah?
Yeah, you might need to go
Yeah.
back to the previous
Yeah.
milestone.
Let's go to the milestone and go to accordion. Yeah, here we go. So the first one is add expression requirement type columns to compliance requirements table.
Yes, this is related to the adherence checks. So this was a migration to add expression and requirement type column.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
next one is on you,
Sorry.
Eli.
Yeah, the next one is on me, filter by subgroups in the projects tab on the compliance center. We've added this filter, which allows people to filter, obviously to filter by subgroups in the projects tab. Another piece going to our filtered search on another page of compliance center. One day we will unify it. And the next one is on Andrew is optimize the releases manage evidence worker. Anyone has some context on this one?
Nope. Not me.
I think this worker was timing out and throwing some errors, and Andrew fixed it, and we have seen no error logs after that.
Okay, great. So the next one is change message for audit event for project compliance framework update.
Yes, that was on me. That clarifies some of the messaging in the audit events. When project frameworks get assigned or unassigned, it was previously sort of unclear what is getting assigned and unassigned. We just made it a little clearer there in the audit.
Yeah, and the next one and the last, considering we could safely ignore planning and updates, also on Hasimar on API for fetching lists of all possible controls.
Yes, so this is also related to adherence checks to, so it's a API to fetch all the controls of a requirement.
Yeah, and now to the current milestone where we also have a bunch of closed issues. Yeah, so the unassigned one, I believe we've taken no action need, am I correct? About remove adherence database
Won't
table.
do. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And make control reserved word was also more of a meta issue. So yeah, that's been closed.
Yeah. Okay, so the bug prioritization, I believe, could be skipped, and we go with enable streaming of again from Andrew, enable streaming of audit events to consolidated instance level destinations, and I believe they're very close to the same one. The next one is enable streaming of group to same, but to the group level destination. Took me a while to find the difference between these two. Any
Yeah,
okay.
if I remember correctly, I think that was a refactoring of our code for the streaming destinations, so we can use a more central code.
Okay. So the next is also an Andrew and these audit events for deployment approvals, which I assume is just
so. These were already in place, and he just had to double check that they were being triggered from the right deployment approval from the deployments themselves rather than from merge requests, and it was. So we've closed that out.
Yeah, and the last but not least is again on Sam, is audit event this month, but unselect 1 day instead of 30 days.
Yes, yeah, there was previously we tried to be smart and have like a monthly selector, but like on the change of the month, it felt quite useless because it might select 1 day. So we've changed it to just go back the last 30 days. It also makes it more consistent with the other two buttons that go back 7 and 14 days.
I really love. Previously, we tried to be smart. Now we figured out that it's better to be dumb at certain things. But yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So let me stop sharing this one, and let's go to the planning issue we have some updates on this one. Here we go. So for planning issue today at the table, we have the custom adherence configuration MVC with a bunch of people involved here. Anyone?
Yeah, I think
Oh, do you want to
I'm doing the
try?
backend part for it.
Sorry, I think this is the old issue. There's a new one.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
17.6
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, I agree. Let's speak.
That's the second
Let's
one there.
yeah, 77 planning compliance. Here we go.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's a custom adherence configuration MVC.
Yes. So regarding backend work, for the GraphQL mutations, I just the update API is pending and is in final maintainer review. Rest of them are must.
Great. So for compliance pipeline to security policy migration by Sam.
Yeah. I'm currently working on another issue where we'll add another nudge when people save a framework with the pipeline active. That'll display a pop-up after save.
Great. Okay, next is on me. It's compliance center improvements. I'm working on better handling when we have tons of different, compliance policies, security policies set up, projects, and everything is interlinked. The main logic is what I've done is already there, but right now I'm spending my time building a seeder for to allow us to seed a huge configuration, because I've already encountered multiple times the issues when we are not considering a pagination, loading all required data in a big enough, way. So I'm working on a seeder to allow us to handle such situations in a more transparent way and for easier testing this one. Next is an Andrew, consolidation of tables for streaming audit events.
Yeah, I can voice his update. So all of the code level, the code level to add this new streams is all done, and he's now working on the migrations for the destinations from the new table to the old, and then getting them syncing both ways at the moment. So yeah, it's in progress.
Yeah, great. Okay. So and next one is it's
Metrics.
yeah, Sam.
Yeah, I'm still there's still ongoing work on metrics. Still ongoing.
Okay, and the last is the compliance database tables work regarding to CELS 1.0 release by Hasimar.
Yes, so I have the groups controller MR in review right now. This week, I think I will mostly work on adherence checks, and next week I will get back to this and we'll have some new updates.
Okay. So I believe, let me check if I'm not mistaken, but this is anything we want to add on design QA side, considering none of the design QA team and discussion points. So Nate, would you like to voice your, oh, sorry. Um, so regarding the take through recent compliance center permission structures, I probably will postpone this a bit later. I would like to make a nice, at least a few slides compiling this one, because it was a mess, and it would be nice to have it documented what are custom roles and where these are custom roles are tied inside our compliance center permissions. So it would be nice to have at least it documented in some way, probably should go in handbook, because otherwise extending this stuff is at least tough for me, because I was, which permission I should pick to have at this endpoint, which permission should I introduce new permission, etc. So and considering that compliance is expected to be very closely tied to custom roles, this should be a good discussion point, but I would like to have it structured a bit later.
Yeah, cool. No, that's fine. We'll push it out a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If that's enough time. But yeah, it'd be great to understand, because it's quite a matrix of permissions between all the custom roles, standard roles.
Also, I probably maybe postpone it a bit later, also because of attendance. I would be more than happy to have a bit broader discussion on this one. Okay, in that case, that's all for it. Let's wave to the camera and stop the recording.